So hi everybody, Craig Hanson here and welcome to my video, guys. If you're wanting to improve your ball striking, you're wanting to improve your swings, this is a great video for you. We're going to be looking at the tilts, the planes, the shoulder planes of the PGA Tour players, the best ball strikers in the world. And guys, here's a fact for you. They are just within a few degrees of each other in this part of the golf swing. And if you're more than 10 degrees or so away from this, you're not going to hit it good. And that's just a fact. It just does not happen from there. Now we're going to go through a look at McIlroy here. And we're going to have a look at the numbers of these shoulder plane, these shoulder tilts here. Here we see McIlroy in at 46 degrees. Here's a video that I did on World Class Golf.
So inside the 2 average there.
Okay, so we're looking at these numbers and when we are inside the correct corridors and when we are outside the correct corridors. When you're outside, the downswing, the effect on it, on your lag, on your compression, on flipping the club, it's devastating to the motion of the swing. It's one of the major reasons we break down and have huge problems. Now we're going to go through a few swings here, and we'll have a look at some of the numbers of the players, just to have a look at really what's correct and what's not correct, and have a look at some less skilled players. Okay, it's important to do this because we need to work with facts and not opinions. So is it 46 degrees from McIlroy here, lead arm down a little bit low at 40. Okay, now let's go through a few players. Now you either have the tendency to come in too steep, or you have the tendency to come in under plane. But one thing stands, and that is that this shoulder plane is always the same. Okay, but these top players within a few degrees. Now, if you do have the tendency to come in, you know, a little bit underneath plane, like some of the advanced players, often you'll see the lead arm up higher. Sometimes you'll see it on the shoulder plane. But for a lot of people out there looking for an easier way to play, because we've got 60 million players and we've got 40 million coming in steep with an open face, you know, flipping it, even single figure handicap, you might be looking at getting your lead arm a little bit lower at the top with a stronger grip, getting your wrist alignments correct and in positions. It just really makes it difficult to hit bad shots. Matt Kuchar, great drive of the golf ball, really good ball strike, 42 degrees, lead arm in at 38. He's got a 3-knuckle grip, very strong grip. The club face is obviously an aggressive position, but he can cup it slightly because he's got a 3 to 4 knuckle grip at the top of the swing. Let's go through some of the other players there. Jason Duffner, and what a golf swing this guy's got. We can see that the shoulder plane down here at 41 degrees, lead arm lower than that. And for a lot of these PGA players, these guys have the tendency to come in a little bit steep. You know, so that's why they're swinging in this type of fashion. Like many other players around the world, they're struggling to come in a little bit steep. We've got Mike Sushak, Ryder Cup player, had the PGA record back in the day there for about 20-something years. 20-something under par he had before players were doing that. Look at that, 46 degrees, lead arm in here. And the advantages of this position is that what it does, if I just draw a line up through the belt buckle here, is that this elbow is already on the original shaft plane, and that's what helps us shallow out this club, guys, because you really want to get this club coming through this forearm at some part of the downswing. The correct entry into the ball, right? If you can get this right, you're going to get this club head up slightly on this side of 12 o'clock. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the button, hit the bell, leave your questions and your comments below. These are the things that we show you on World Class Golf Instruction, and you can film this with your mobile phones. It's something that we take you through.
World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction.
Let's have a look at a couple more players and swings out there. Interesting looking at some of these numbers. 45 degrees, shoulder plane from the top. Looking at this lead arm, 39, this back of this trail wrist pointing down towards the golf ball. Strong wrist positions, essential for your hitting. Sometimes when we're looking at these positions on the way back, important to understand that the sole of the club, or the sweet spot of the club should point downwards. Most people out there around the world are really opening up the club slightly on the way down, and we want to get some strong right wrist positions. We want to get our shoulders pointing down into these 40-degree areas here, and that's going to give us a much better chance to, you know, hit some great golf shots. Having a look at Robert Rock, one of the world's best iron players here at the top of the swing. And once again, we can see this shoulder plane down into the 40 3 degrees, lead arm slightly lower than that, and from there we've got a great chance to hit some good shots. When we look at a lot of the club players, we'll see obviously, you know, a few setup issues, but we'll see them at the top of the swing. I'll just draw a line up here over the golf ball, and we'll see the shoulder plane here around the 20s, you know, high 20-degree area. The problem with that is what we have a tipping over effect, and often we'll get the head moving in also closer to the golf ball, and as they're coming down, they're really coming over the top and hitting it right in the heel, and then causing all sorts of issues with their swings, falling into the golf ball, coming in too steep. We know that so many players around the world are doing this, and sometimes I might show a picture of a player that's perhaps not that skilled, but when we really when we have a look, we see also players that are perhaps a little bit lost, having also troubles with it. 27 degrees. Watch this rider arm kick over. Now, a lot of people are saying you're coming from the outside, but they're not really talking about this position here. Now we can see this. He has to do this. He has to get this arm coming over to get some pressure on the ball. Obviously, he's got no wrist alignments at the top. All right, so there's just nothing happening up there. You're not going to get any pressure, and that's why so many people are just flipping it. And we're all watching videos on how to get compression, but the position at the top is just a mess. And if we pop a line up here, guys, over that, and we can imagine that that's a wall, we're crashing into the wall here, we can definitely see that that is close to a socket and just not happening. Now, we'll have a look, obviously, when we're looking at ways to train and practice it, it's important to get in there and film it. All right, so with your mobile phones, this is something that I would love to show people to do on World Class Golf Instruction. We get in there and we have a look at the slow motion on the phone. We have a look at some of the numbers that we can get in and have a look at. 46 degrees, see that elbow very close to the original shaft plane, coming back down. Guys, you've got to get this position here, right? This is a fact. You've got to get the club coming in. To hit a pure draw, the club's got to come in behind the hands, all right? So we can see here that that toe of that club is pointing up between 12 and 1. This is what you can do with your smartphones, with your mobile phones. All right? And we see that that club is coming in behind the hands. Now, when we have a look here at some of the things that we can do when we're practicing, we'll have a look here at getting the club face, working on your club face, working on improving these positions, getting this right hand to break back effectively so that the right wrist moves effectively. We get so many people around the world taking the club back like in the incorrect fashion like this, rather than getting this club to move back and the right wrist breaking back effectively. And the more that you get the shoulders, or the steeper that you get the shoulders, the bigger that you can get this angle at the top of the swing. Now, Tony Finau, obviously we can see very steep shoulders at the top of the swing. And we get the lead arm down much lower. It makes it much easier to come from the inside. Arnold Palmer, the king back in the day, we can see that the shoulders very steep, lead arm down a lot lower. And this is what I mean by finding this inside slot. All right, so Deep to Shallow on World Class Golf Instruction, we take you through a complete series here, and we show you how to get into this position and practice effectively. So guys, make sure that you get your hands on the right information. This is a great way to shallow out your swing, get some compression on your shots, and get yourself on a path to play some great golf. If you're looking for online lessons, check out CraigHansonGolf.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.